The human brain is a remarkable organ that is constantly processing information from the outside world. However, what if I told you that the brain actually struggles to tell the difference between real life experiences and your imagination? Hello, and welcome to your safe space where we talk all about mindset shifts, manifestation, healing, and self-care. My name is Jules, and today we are talking about the fascinating concept to transform your thoughts and your emotions. The reason I want to share this is because I was going on my daily walk and I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, Jay Shetty's podcast On Purpose, and I learned some really fascinating information about the brain. And of course, because I am a student first, I am sharing what I am learning with you today. So thank you again for tuning in. If you are listening on the podcast, I really appreciate you, and thank you for coming back to the channel to view today's video. So let's get started. On his episode, Jay Shetty was interviewing his guest, Joe Dispenza, who's an author, he's a speaker, and he's a researcher in the field of neuroscience, epigenetics, and quantum physics. And so when he said that the brain cannot tell the difference between reality and imagination, I was shook and really intrigued by what he had to share. So this means that whether I am picturing myself crushing it at work, feeling loved and supported, or just having an awesome day, my brain processes it like it's real. So in today's episode, I want to explore the concept of the brain's blurred lines between reality and imagination, and how you can leverage this phenomenon to bring transformative change into your life. So let's start with understanding the blurring boundaries. This can happen whether you are watching a scary movie or you are daydreaming about something exciting that is going to happen in the future. So if we start with the example of a scary movie, which if you know me, you know that I do not do scary movies. So let's start with this example of the scary movie. When you watch a scary movie, it triggers emotional and psychological responses. During scary movies, we actually trigger the amygdala, which processes information such as fear and anxiety, which then releases the stress hormone, preparing your body for a fight or flight response. We also trigger our hypothalamus, which is responsible for regulating our nervous system and the release of stress hormones. On the other hand, when you are daydreaming or you are in rest mode, your brain is in a state called default mode network. When you are in this state of mind, you are facilitating creative thinking and reflecting on your thoughts. During this state of imagination, we also trigger the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for higher order thinking, and the visual cortex that is responsible for creating images. I would actually love to talk more about the topic of the subconscious mind. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, go ahead and let me know in the comments section below. Also, during imagination, we also trigger the hippocampus, and this part of the brain is responsible for memory and information retention. It's pretty amazing how our brains work, right? I mean, it's not just about reacting to what is happening to the world around us, but also to our own thoughts and imaginations. It's like we have an entire new world inside of our minds, or how one of the psychologists on the podcast that I was listening to said, we have a playground, and it's our own playground in our mind. The second concept of imagination for transformation is the art of rewiring your thoughts and your feelings. This is the power of us being able to harness our brain's inability to distinguish between imagination and real life scenarios. This concept allows us to reframe and reshape our thoughts and emotions. By consciously engaging in positive and empowering and uplifting mental images, we can activate the brain's neural networks that are associated with joy, confidence, and resilience. These neural networks include the ventral tegmental area, which releases dopamine, and as we all know, this is the feel-good chemical. It also includes the nucleus accumbens, which is the part of the brain that receives the dopamine. And it includes the prefrontal cortex, which integrates the reward-related information and contributes to the experiences of joy and positive effect. It is truly fascinating how our brains are wired to experience happiness and pleasure from certain things. Over time, this rewiring process can lead to profound changes in our thought patterns and our emotional well-being. So, do you ever wonder if there are ways to stimulate this part of the brain to experience more joy in your life? Let's talk about it. This brings me to my next concept of using imagination for transformation, and that is the power of visualization. And I'm sure you have probably heard me talk about visualization if you have seen the other videos, because I really am fascinated by this concept, and I personally use visualization every single day. And I always encourage you to meditate and to practice visualization through meditation. Visualization is truly so powerful, and it's used by athletes and artists and performers and professionals because it involves mental rehearsing of your desired outcomes. They want to win a game. They want to have a sold out concert. So they use this practice of visualization for what they want to achieve. So when you vividly imagine yourself achieving your goals and overcoming your challenges, your brain is interpreting these mental images as genuine experiences, which then enhances your motivation and your belief in your abilities. The brain then becomes primed to seek opportunities that are aligned with your envisioned success and increases the likelihood of turning your aspirations into reality. And so instead of just letting our minds wander aimlessly, we can be intentional about our thoughts and imagine the life that we want. By picturing our best selves every single day, we can create a plan for our subconscious to follow. This then sets a chain reaction of actions and decisions that lead us to manifest our dreams. I talk more about visualization in my video called My Advice on Manifesting Success That Will Change Your Life. I will make sure to link it down below so you can watch that one next. The next concept of using imagination for transformation is to embrace emotional transformation. And you might be thinking, okay, this sounds like fairy tales and rainbows, Julie. How do I embrace emotional transformation? Well, okay, let's talk about it. So the first step is self-awareness. It's simple. You make the practice of being more self-aware and you start to reflect on your emotions. You name your emotions for what they are, and then you take the time to understand your emotions. When you do this, you are noticing any patterns, triggers, and the impact that they have on your thoughts and your behaviors. Also, start to practice mindfulness. Yes, you need to slow down. I also talk extensively on mindfulness in my video, Create Your Ideal Reality, and the role of meditation, growth mindset, and exploring the law of attraction. I'll also link that down below. And another way that you can embrace emotional transformation is to acknowledge and accept your emotions without judgment. Allow yourself to experience good and negative emotions and learn from your challenges. View difficult situations as opportunities for growth and for learning. When you begin to embrace your emotional transformation, it is like a mental workout for your brain, and it helps you feel better about your life. And my final concept that I am sharing today in order to use imagination for transformation is the ability to create new neural pathways, which is a fancy way of saying that your brain is a highly adaptable organ that is able to form new connections between neurons. And this is simply known as neuroplasticity. When you consciously engage in positive imagination and visualization exercises, we strengthen these neural pathways and we make them more accessible and more automatic. Over time, our brain begins to default to positive patterns of thinking and of feeling, which ultimately enables a more positive mindset and an empowered mindset. Of course, this goes without saying that imagining isn't just enough. We also have to put things into movement, and we have to act on our goals and the challenges that we have set up for ourselves. Now, I will say that it does take time and it takes effort to change our thoughts and our habits. But not only are we able to, but when we do, it's so worth it. Alright, if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and leave this affirmation in the comments section down below. My imagination is a gateway to limitless possibilities, and I harness its power to create positive change in my life. Also, let me know in the comments section down below what kind of videos you would like to see next. I would love to get your feedback. And if you found any value in this video, please subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and get the message out there for more people to find. And if you are listening to this podcast episode, go ahead and tag me on Instagram at MindsetManifest.co and let me know what stood out to you from today's episode. And if you would like more motivation sent to your phone on a weekly basis, you can join the Mindset Manifest community at MindsetManifest.co and sign up to receive the Wise Wednesday newsletter that goes out every week. And I'm going to leave you the same way that I always do. You matter, you are doing your best, and that is good enough. Until next time, my friend, stay amazing.